Thanks for checking out a new episode of Bad Advice with Chris Cubis, the show where unqualified people give unsolicited advice. This week, I'm joined by comedians Aaron Brooks and Pat Sirois. This is a real fun episode. We talk proper waffle etiquette, what to do with annoying husbands who keep finding hair on their food, bad retail experiences. It's a blast. Check it out. Thanks for checking out a new episode of Bad Advice with Chris Cubis, the show where unqualified people give unsolicited advice. We missed a week last week. Sorry about that. Life is life. Schedules are schedules. But we're back and we're not missing any more. This week, I am joined by two of the homies. Up first, calling in from California, Los Angeles. But you know him from all over Austin. Make some noise. Aaron Brooks is here. What's up, brother?
Hey, how's it going? Good. Glad to be here. Good to see you.
Hell yeah. Good to see you, sir. How's LA life treating you?
It's beautiful. It's lovely weather. Everybody's gorgeous, and I'm fucking miserable. Let's go.
Is it just your standard misery? Is there anything like new misery happening? You know what I'm saying? Like,
well, there's always new miseries if you look hard enough, and I feel like it's been just like it's been the worst 2 years of my life, even independent of COVID. It's been the worst years of my life. But I'm coming out of it.
Hell yeah. Now, so it was already bad going into COVID. Did you get like a COVID bump? Did it get a little better because everybody else started doing? I'm petty.
Oh,
so
no,
I feel
man.
like if I'm doing bad, then everybody else starts doing bad with me. I'm gonna feel a little better.
Yeah.
Oh, I see. So yeah, was I relishing in the shared misery of a global pandemic?
Yeah.
I guess. There were there days where I just ate $30 of Taco Bell on my bed and just said fuck everybody else. 100%. I'm glad you're all hurting.
By the way, 30. Okay, well, hold on, Pat. Also with Pat Sirois.
We're all doing the math.
We're doing the math. We need to break down, and I'm sure Pat can join in on this conversation. What does a $30 Taco Bell order look like?
Well, I mean, I'm getting it delivered. I'm high.
Okay, so all right, so you got Uber Eats fees on top of that. Sure. Okay, so you're looking at like an $18 Taco Bell. A little more.
Don't
reasonable.
Challenge me to spend $30 at a Del Taco. You know what I mean? Have you had the Chipotle chicken roller, my man? It is.
I have never had Del Taco.
Really? They used to have them. They had them in St. Louis, and it was great.
Pastor Royce, what's your Del Taco experience?
I've never been to a Del Taco. I was just all over the Midwest doing shows back in April, and Taco John is a place out there that's just hilarious to me because it's just call it Taco One. It's right, like just take the extra step.
So clearly right there, but I don't think they want to alienate their fellow Midwestern whites.
Yeah.
So they're like, hold on, let's not get too spicy with it. It's Taco John.
I can't go in there if I can't read the menu, you know?
Did you know that's run by the Papa John's guy?
No.
Really?
Yeah, same family. The John family.
No, hold on, you're fucking with me.
Nope,
I fell for that. I fell that hard.
Yeah, I know.
Papa John, Taco John. What's your third John?
John's actually the last name.
He's the breakfast John. The long John.
John Silver. It's also Long John Silver.
A breakfast John sounds like a horrible breakfast Jack.
That sounds like something you get from in Boston. Hey, Susie, let me get one of those breakfast Johns.
Yeah, you get breakfast John. Yeah, let me get a lunch mic.
Yeah. Okay. Guys, be on your best behavior. We got Bourdain coming in for a lunch, John.
Yeah. No, come on now. Guy Fieri's coming in for the lunch, John special. It is no shade on Guy Fieri, but like, if you have a lunch, John, and it's like it's like, oh, this has got extra whatever, like
this is slamming
Michael sauce on it or whatever. Pastor Royce, how's things with you?
I'm doing good, man. Doing good. Just had the day off today. Kind of outrun some errands.
Nice.
Of varying degrees of legality. It's been fun.
Like that. You just back from the road. How's the Midwest?
The road was good, man. It was fun. I was out there. I was all over like the Dakotas, all the flat and dumbs, as I call them. But man, they're so dope. I had a good time out there, man. We were in both Dakotas. Wyoming, and then we did like Nebraska. Wyoming, coolest state out there. I love Wyoming to death. We had a dude threaten to shoot me in the crowd. That was pretty awesome.
I've done those shows, and they never then become my favorite place. Like I have for sure had There was a show we did in Connecticut. I can't remember the city, but some dude was like, "I'm gonna get my gun," and then he left. And then I was outside smoking, and his friends were like, "Oh, he's going to get his gun. You want to go inside?" And I was like, "Oh,
he's
bad.
not
Right.
kidding."
Yeah. And then you know what? I don't like Connecticut anymore. That's not a state I fuck with.
It's also just fucking hard to spell. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
it's just too hard to spell.
That extra C in the middle, I don't.
Yeah.
It's just purely there to piss you off.
Yeah, 100%.
I was we had a show in Gillette, Wyoming, and there was this drunk lady up in the crowd, and she was being like obnoxious drunk the whole night, and her man was like, so at this point the comics were talking shit about her. I was headlining, so I get up and she's already been like, taking abuse, right, but she's still being shitty, so I was making fun of her, and I had this joke about guns, and I said, hey, by a show of guns, who's from Wyoming? And the husband goes, he goes, yeah, I got a gun. I got a gun. I said, oh, great. The husband of the lady who I've been bullying all night has a gun. That's good news. And then he goes, everybody laughed. And while they were laughing, they couldn't hear him. He goes, yeah, I got 8 shots for your ass. And so I called him out on it. I was like, yo, this guy's starting to shoot me. I was like, 8 shots. That's how I know he has a gun. Very specific number.
Yeah. He knows. And also, that's an odd number in the clip. Like, the clip's normally like 15 or revolver 6. He knew what he loaded when he left the house.
Yeah. No, it's not that he... It's not that he put 8 in there.
I had to shoot. I had the 15-round mag. I had to shoot 3 at my neighbor's house because he had that Biden flag. I shot one off in the air for like Chris Kyle.
The real racist version of Clue. 2 plus 1 plus Negro plus Hispanic guy to drive.
He was like, yeah, let's see. And then I got 1 for me back at the house, and then 8 for your fucking ass.
Hey, hang on a second. Hang on. There's Biden flags? How do I get one?
Imagine. What was the mask situation like in the Dakotas? Not really fucking with them, huh?
Boy, they were over them, bro. They were over the mask, dude. It was like it starts to creep in, like, see, I'm in Austin where it's like, you get glared at, or at least for a while you did if you didn't have your mask.
Yeah.
And so like I was like, like it's in I throw it on. And there was times I went in some gas stations, like, and there was just like the fucking people that worked there didn't even have masks. Like nobody had masks. Yeah. And you're just walking in, everybody's looking at you and shit. And I'm not gonna lie, like I snapped back into it. I was like, all right, whatever. And you get lax. And then like we started coming back towards like civilization. I was like, oh shit, I gotta start putting this thing back on my face. But it was fun, man. The world is ready to party. Everybody was wanting to have fun. It was great shows. I did like pretty much the same route last year. And like I fucking so I saw a lot of the same venue owners, and things have gotten a little more political since then, And this one lady goes, "Oh, I love every comic that your company sends us, but do y'all have any pro-freedom comics?"
What does that even mean?
Yeah, I was like, well, I mean, I enjoy not being in jail. Like if that's what
I think that just means racist. Like they just
that's exactly what I mean.
Yeah. That's
so
wild.
Pro freedom comics. I was like, no, we're all big supporters of the prison industrial complex.
Aaron, are you a pro freedom comic? Is that how the pandemic's turning your set? You think it's gonna be a little more pro freedom coming out of it?
I think I'm gonna give in to the St. Louisan in me, and I'm just gonna really go to town. Yeah. No,
we did a show in Springfield, man. It was the one like bus show we had on the whole run. We only sold 7 tickets, and we're like, oh, this is gonna suck. And then like there's a thunderstorm, so only 4 people showed up. And that was in Springfield,
Missouri, or Illinois.
Springfield, Missouri.
Oh, baby.
Yeah.
They got a good little room down there, the Blue Room in Columbia, or that's Columbia? We're doing breweries. This is not an establishment tour. Yeah, I had a friend who went to Southwest Missouri State, and it's in Springfield, and it's like 3 hours from St. Louis. And if you drive from like where I'm from to Springfield, it's like a straight shot down the interstate, and it's just littered with like porno stores. Mm-hmm. And we go into this one, and there is a woman as large as Gilbert Grape's mother, like behind, like I mean, just like the. The least sexual, it just was like, okay, this is, just kind of the last thing you think of, and we were going to buy a dildo for my friend Dustin, and we are going to leave it with him. And I asked her, I said, Miss, where's the dildos? And she's like eating sour cream and cheddar Ruffles and like points me to a wall. Mm-hmm. So I buy one. She puts it in a bag. I was like, I don't need a bag. I'm going to open this up. And she's like, well, there's a bowling alley next door and they're having kids parties. So we got to put him in a bag. Mm-hmm. And I get out of there and there's just ruffle dust all over my dildo package. but it's just like we were hanging out of the windows, showing, flashing it at people.
Classic.
Springfield, Missouri is a wild fucking town.
I gotta say, I don't know. Like, if you go to a sex shop, I don't know that you need to ask where the dildos are. You'll find them. Just walk around, man. You'll find them eventually.
Yeah. I'm crunched for time. Where are the dildos?
This
isn't a pun, but I need to get in and out.
The dildo emergency.
Yeah.
So, go ahead.
I used to sell iPhones, and I had a guy come in one time, and he just came in. He was like, hey, I'm in a real quick hurry. I need to upgrade and get an iPhone and get up the door right now. And I was like, whatever, man, let's do it. Let's make it quick. I was like, so what's the hurry? You got to get to a meeting? He's like, my wife's in the hospital giving birth to our daughter.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
And I was like, well, okay, man.
Well, it is a good deal. I'll give you that.
Yeah. He's like, they waived the activation fee. What are we doing? I'm not trying to lose money on this.
No, what happened was his previous one, the camera didn't work. And he's been telling his wife for like 6 months, no, I'll get to it. Now all of a sudden, fucking the days come.
No, kids get phones younger and younger these days. I'm just going to pass this one down. Day one.
Yeah. When do the fingerprints actually form? I don't know if they use the fingerprint lock.
Yeah. She's not going to be able to use this thing for months.
I don't think any of the biometrics are going to be right on this, but she'll grow into this.
There's a baby iPhone. You got to rub it on the fontanelle on the soft spot. If it pushes in far enough, that's how they know it's your phone.
That's how it charges.
Yeah. Let's go ahead and jump into some of these letters. So, Pastor Royce, what is your familiarity level with Dear Abby?
Oh, very familiar with it, man. I was a kid. I lived on military bases, and I don't know. Every morning, my grandma would take me she'd go get a coffee. We'd read the paper, and I'd read the comics, and I'd read Dear Aunt Landis. So I read that on the daily for most of my childhood. So I'm there. Yeah, awesome. I'm very familiar.
Aaron?
Oh, 100%.
You know what's
baby.
up. Yeah. 100%, baby. Let's do it.
All we did was read the paper.
Is it just Ann Landers, or is it Ann Landers and Abby?
Oh, it's just, I pull from Abby specifically, but eventually I'll run out of good ones, so I'm sure we'll
get kill Ann Landers, Dear Abby, Paul Harvey.
It's the rest of the story. By the way, you are so right about the poorness. We absolutely had the paper. When know you're poor when you're a kid, when you read the whole paper,
fucking thing, and you look forward to the next day.
I know what's going on in local town council meetings and shit.
I'm into all the gossip.
None of the kids get your jokes. You're just making Leno style jokes about the world. And the kids what are you talking about?
Sitting at the kitchen table, Mom, Mr. Turlington died. He was God, left behind a wife and 3 kids. God.
Yeah.
Imagine.
Got that parade section on Sunday. That was the fucking entertainment tonight because the brother from Everybody Loves Raymond is on the cover. It feels like celebrity.
I find a Reader's Digest in the bathroom and get furious. Who the fuck brought this trash in my house?
I used to love Reader's Digest because I had jokes, and I didn't care what kind of jokes. They were terrible, but they were still jokes, so I loved them.
Man, we used to go to resale shops, and if you have $1 at a resale shop, you can have every Reader's Digest from 1976 to 2012.
Yeah. Dude, by your weight in Reader's Digest.
Yeah.
They used to sell old National Geographics at a bookstore in my town for 50 cents a piece. And I would just go in there with $5, buy fucking 10 of them, and just get baked and read National Geographic for 3 months straight. And then go and re-up,
It's like the original TED Talk. A bunch of Nat Geos.
Yeah, this is the original Tit Talk, baby. It is. They had some titties in there.
Some of them did.
Occasionally.
Tastefully.
Tasteful National Geographic titties.
All right, so let's go ahead and jump into some of these letters. Let's see which one. This one is sad. Dear Abby, I've been in the retail business for 12 years. My husband and I own it.
That is sad.
A customer, it's going to get sadder. A customer moved here a few months ago. He's retired and lives with his wife, daughter, and grandchild. He's bored and doesn't want to be around his family, so he's started spending every day in our store, wasting our time. He bothers customers with his stories and traps them for hours at a time. He has purchased some items, so he is buying from us. But I can tell he just wants a place to hang out. He is loud and intrudes into other people's conversations when they are at the counters. He has also taken a liking to one employee who works Saturdays and started spending 4 to 5 hours every Saturday coming in and trying to make conversation about anything. I've never had to deal with this kind of customer, and I don't know how to tell him he can't hang out at our store. He's basically using us as an outlet to talk to people and keep himself out of the house. Please help. I want to say it in a nice way, but I think it's anyway is going to hurt his feelings. Signed, unpleasant situation.
Oh man,
I feel like I'm looking at the face of two people that have worked retail.
Yeah, I was doing the math, and I'm just like, these fucking cowards. 12 years. Get the fuck out of here.
How long? Yeah, you got to build. You should have that callus built up. 6, 7 months.
Yeah.
There's nothing you can say to me from across a counter that will affect me at all.
Yeah.
Nothing at all.
Oh yeah.
You can say anything, and if I'm behind that counter, it's just dead.
Yeah.
On the inside.
No, I checked out my soul when I clocked in this morning. I don't have to deal with it. You know?
Dude, how I would deal with that is like I honestly would that'd be something I would just put up with until the day I died. I'd be like that fucking guy's in the store again. Like I would just that's exactly how I go about it.
So here's the thing. I feel like there is depends on how. Because like that person can also be like unintentionally funny and like give you good stories, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So like you can get something out of it, but also that may not be that guy. That guy might just fucking suck. You know what I'm saying? Also, how shitty is this guy's life that he's just like, he's not alone. This isn't a widower with no one else to talk to. His whole family is there. Wife, daughter, and granddaughter.
In need of his guidance and love, and he's just at the fucking secondhand store.
They said it. He got bored with them. These people suck. This guy needs the action of a small town retail.
Yeah. He's like, have you met my daughter and grandchild? Like, oh god.
Yeah.
No, go ahead.
You've met them, but have you been to Karen's Closet? Oh my god!
That's my question. Yeah. What kind of store is this? You know what I'm saying? Because it's a family-owned retail business. So they're selling. It's not a restaurant. You know what I'm saying? They would say food service. They would say whatever. They'd say mechanic. So this is some sort of family-owned store that sells things. Yet this guy's in there for 5 hours on a Saturday.
Yo, it's that side of the road dildo shop where the lady was eating the chips there.
Yeah. To be fair, you can spend some time there.
Yeah.
I've worked many nights at a bookstore inside of a mall. So I can tell you, I've dealt with this exact person 100,000 times.
Yeah.
And what you do is you fucking lean into it. You lean into it and you really engage that person because they're going to be fucking crazy and they're going to be so devoted to you that there will come a point where that person will do you a solid. I worked at a Borders in the South County malls in St. Louis, Missouri, and we used to when you work in bookstores like the mass market paperbacks, how they work is like if you don't sell them, they'll eventually the publisher will be like, hey, return those, and you just tear the cover off and you throw the book in the trash and you send them the cover because it's got the barcode. Right. We would have people who would dumpster dive, just take all these like shitty romance novels. Yeah. There was a dude who was an older vet who would come in every day and he would post up at the magazines and he'd kick his feet up and he would just go. He would read like 25 magazines a day for hours and he would talk to anybody who was within earshot. And he saw somebody diving in the dumpster and he knew it was wrong and he fucking went out there like he was storming Normandy and he starts dressing this guy down who's like loading a trash bag full of books and it's like, dude, this guy's our guard dog and it's just because we were like nice to him. And he fucking ruled. After a while he started helping clean up, he started helping put magazines away. He was like an extra employee, but man, he was also, I'm sorry that wasn't funny. It's just
here's my problem though. I got mad because go steal the books out of the garbage.
I don't care.
Leave those people alone.
When you have to like a polite way to explain to a customer, like when they're just like, oh, hey, is it okay if I just do this? You're like, I don't care about anything. Like, like whatever you want to do, like I'm gonna pretend I didn't fucking see it. So just have at it, man.
Oh, I'm definitely the type of person I would definitely just I would just put them aside. I'd leave them in a box next to the dumpster. Whatever, man. I'd rather they go somewhere. I remember I used to work at a movie theater. I used to manage this movie theater, and we were supposed to tear the posters so no one could
no
get
way.
Them. What are you talking about? Like, why would I possibly do that? I would. People would sometimes offer us money, and I would, of course, take that. But otherwise, I would have them, whatever. They're going in the garbage, man.
Yeah, like it's like that old Simpsons bit. Like, hey, those kids are trying to learn for free. Get them, you know?
Yeah.
I worked at a Sam's Club in the bakery.
I worked at a Sam's Club What was your fucking did you have to do the fucking team cheer at the beginning of your shift?
Fuck no, we didn't.
Oh well, we were supposed to. I did it once during orientation and I never did it again. But we used to have a team meeting for the beginning of the shift and it would be 6201. We're the team that's having fun. It's embedded in my fucking brain.
God,
I'm gonna get Alzheimer's in 20 years. And that's the only thing I'm gonna be able to say.
Chris in a rocking chair, 6201.
That's it. Yeah. Absolutely.
But man, working in the bakery, you have to like pull shit every night, and it's fresh baked stuff, so it's like 2 days tops. And we'd have a flatbed with those big ass carts loaded every single night with baked goods, and they would throw them in a dumpster and dump bleach on them. Because they're like, well, people can't get them because if somebody gets into them and they get sick, we get sued.
You know who's not suing you?
Exactly.
The homeless dude eating out of your dumpster.
Yeah.
For one, he can't prove where he got sick. He's eating out of dumpster. Like, it's not. He's like, oh, I can trace it back there. We had point of contact. I have an app on my phone that lets me trace back. You're eating dumpster muffins, man. You can't prove shit.
He's just like sitting there holding his stomach. He's like, man, I think it might have been those muffins I ate out of the dumpster.
It could have been those croissants that were soaked in bleach.
Yeah. Also, if they eat the fucking croissants soaked in bleach, like, couldn't they
They're
also
gonna get sick.
sue you?
Yeah, you would think, right? More to the point, they poisoned you.
Yeah, dude. That was just the policy of some sick fuck that was like, no, they pour bleach on them. I don't want those fuckers eating any of that.
Yeah. There's somebody just watching that security camera and jerking off because that's how he can calm down. Watching.
That's how Sam Walton died.
Yeah.
with a belt around his neck that was $9.97 on sale, and closed circuit footage of a homeless man eating a croissant soaked in bleach.
All right, let's go ahead and move on to our next letter.
That was Sam's choice.
I like this one because I think we might have some serious opinions. Dear Abby, my husband and I were on vacation out of state with our 4 young children, staying at a large resort that offered a free buffet breakfast. While my husband,
the fucking life.
While my husband tended to the children's beverages and eating utensils, I stood in line to make waffles for everyone. There were 3 waffle irons available. As I made 4 waffles for the 6 of us, as others were doing for their families, a woman began berating me and another man for monopolizing the waffle irons. She said we should make only 1 waffle at a time and then get back in line. She went on to insult our kids by saying that by feeding our kids whole waffles for breakfast, we are responsible for the epidemic of childhood obesity in this country.
Yeah.
Hold on, wait, let me get it out. Was I being rude? Is there a rule of etiquette regarding waffle making in a buffet? We like to sit down as a family, enjoy our meal together. Signed, Waffling in the South.
Oh, man. Ooh,
all right. Okay. Before anybody goes any further, I want to vote. Who says they should make 1 waffle at a time? Or who says they should use 1 waffle iron per person? And who says they can take up as many waffle irons as they want when it's their point in time? I say, count of 3. You either want A or B. 1 or 2. Okay. Hold up, 1 or 2.
Okay.
So right? 1 is 1 at a time. 2 is multiple.
As many machines as you want. 1, 2, 3. Oh, you pieces of shit!
Going 2, man. Going 2.
Whoa, no. Fuck that. Oh, that makes me mad. Well,
here. Okay, I have a train of thought around this.
Let's get to it. Yeah.
If I'm going to a buffet and I have 3 kids and a wife, never gonna happen. If I go, I mean, the buffet will absolutely happen. But
I was like, well, aim higher, Aaron.
A buffet where I'm gonna make 3 waffles simultaneously is for sure going to be happen, but I will be alone.
I've never navigated in tandem.
Yeah. If I walk up and there are 3 waffle makers that are unattended, and there's nobody there.
There's a line of people behind you. There's a line of
people at the.
There's not a lot of people in front of me though.
There's a line. There's a woman behind you, mad that you're taking up all the waffles. Think of the scenario.
She ain't in front of me. So
if I notice there's somebody behind me, I might take up 2 and give her 1.
Right,
if there's 3 waffle irons and there's a 1 woman behind me, I would for sure take 2. And
what if there's a full line of people waiting for 8 people behind you waiting for the waffle iron.
Then I'm putting all
Here's
3
what I
on
think
so I
you
can
should-
get in and out of there right away. I'm not going back for that 4th one though.
There is an argument to be made that they are all the same amount of time. So theoretically, you're not taking any more time than you would, because those waffles should all be done at the same time. So there's an argument there.
Less time for myself though.
However, this is I'm a leftist and y'all are coming in hard Republican here. I'm trying to let the workers own the means of waffle production, and you're over here with some real capitalist opinions.
Listen, I'm socially liberal, but I am buffet conservative. Okay, I'll tell you that right now. I'm gonna tweet that right now.
That's fantastic. Wait for this podcast to come out, but then tweet it.
This is my where I take on it is I think if I had 3 waffle irons in front of me,
right,
I would utilize all 3 and I would do 1 round. That's me. I'm getting all 3 of these. I'm making the 3 waffles. Then I probably wouldn't have as Aaron said, I wouldn't go back for the 4th waffle. However, I would never get on somebody's ass for making the waffles for their kids if I was behind them. And it's kind of like one of those things where I would expect that level of understanding back from the world, but I'm probably not going to get it.
If I'm behind you, I'm getting in your ass.
I also have a question though, like how do 3 waffle makers simultaneously come open at once?
Because the person she says that other people were doing it the same way she was. That she says here, okay. I'll find it. Where is it? I stood in line to make waffles for everyone. There were 3 waffles. As I made 4 waffles for the 6th of us. Now here's that makes me mad. I stood in line. Sure. There were 3 waffle irons available. As I made 4 waffles, so she did a round and a second round, right? As others were doing for their families. So presumably the person in front of her had done the same thing.
Yeah, that's poor waffle decorum. That is just.
Well, here's what I think is that I don't see anything wrong with doing. You could be like, hey, I'm going to use these 2 over here. If you want to hop on that one right there, but I'm making a couple. But here, that one's open for you.
Gotta leave a 1 open for the next man.
Yeah. That's probably what I would do. I would do mine in shifts of 2, and I'd be like, hey, there's 1 right here. Sorry, I'm making 6.
I will say that this woman is insane if she thinks this other woman, the mad woman, is insane if she thinks that, as she says, that this person should make 1 waffle and then get back in line.
That makes no fucking sense.
Lady, you're out of your mind. I'm gonna make my waffle.
Yeah, at the very least, you should get full use of the fleet of waffle irons for 1 round.
One round.
Yeah.
I can maybe let slide again. The timing of that arguably it's not gonna change.
Yeah, this lady being like going from, hey, you shouldn't be doing that, to also your fat
ass. Yeah. Oh, I like that a lot. That's the part I like the most. She's like mad getting the family involved.
Yeah.
But if you think about this, you're in line. There's a table with 3 waffle irons on it. All 3 waffle irons come open at the same time.
Yeah.
So she has to then go. You got to fucking open the waffle iron. You got to fucking put the non-stick stuff on there, and then you got to pour, which is the slowest fucking pour of any breakfast product. And then you got to duplicate that 2 other times.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, I get somebody being pissed watching this.
In the back,
painstaking process.
For starters, I have never made a hotel waffle not hungover. That is I have drunk too. I have woken up early because I'm broke and I'm trying to catch the breakfast buffet. I am gonna eat and then I'm going back to sleep because I'm still hungover. So this process needs to happen quick.
Yeah. See, I know I'm very fresh off of a hotel run. Back in April, I was in a hotel every fucking night.
Yeah.
And a couple of things that's going on with buffets right now that I can let y'all in on. First of all, the most places aren't offering them anymore.
Sure.
And I'm a little weird about that because I'm like, all right, well, last I recalled in 2019, the room was still $69.99. Now it's 2021. The room's still $69.99. I'm not paying for it, but still, it's like y'all are still. It wasn't like y'all.
You better come up.
Fucking bill.
That shit better be 61. You better get $8 up off that room for sure.
For sure. Y'all ain't serving breakfast. That's just a little. That's a little weird to me. But like,
I agree.
I will say that. Man, the places that do have it, it's popular again. And I wasn't really partying much on tour. And I was like getting up every morning and waking up on time for the continental breakfast, which normally doesn't even fucking happen for me. Not even on my agenda. But I was getting up early. And I will say, man, that you forget like how out of decorum most people are at these places. Because I was just like, I think I tweeted about it. I was like, man, there's nothing like a hotel breakfast to reintroduce you to the post-pandemic lives of white people who are barefoot in public.
Yeah.
It was a fucking epidemic. Like all throughout the Midwest. It was just nasty Mowgli jungle feet just walking around. Like, I was just like, I was disgusted.
And the logic is it's carpeted.
That's worse. That's so much worse. They don't shampoo that shit but once a quarter. Out of your mind. Also, by the way, if I'm waking up for this buffet, I am bringing everything back to my room. I'm getting all the little boxes of cereal. They figured that shit out. They changed to like the dispenser because I'm stealing all the cereal, the muffins, the cream cheese.
I'm taking half a loaf of bread and all those peanut butter and jelly packets, and I mean all of them.
Yeah.
I'm taking utensils.
Is they have fucking a lot of places do bags where you can just come down and get a breakfast bag, and it's dog shit. It's like it's like a shitty microwave burrito and like some nuts. You know, it's just like the wackest shit in a paper bag. And we were staying with 3 people, and most hotel rooms are priced around 2 guests. And so I would go down there, and most places were cool, but a couple places like the Alliance Nebraska Hojo, if you want to name names, I went down there and I was like, yeah, can I get 3 of the breakfast bags? She's like, oh, it's 2 per room. I was like, I have 3 people with us. She was like, well, we price our rooms at 2 guests, so it's 2. I just want to be like, well, will you cut the shit and just give me the 3rd breakfast bag? Because I'm gonna get it. I'm getting the 3rd breakfast bag. We can just stop all this.
Are you paying for these bags, Joanne? They're not.
Is this 3rd bag gonna bankrupt Howard Johnson hotels?
Oh, dude, I have never. Any number of jobs I've had where it's like someone's like, "Can I get an extra?" You can get all the extra. I don't care.
Yeah, I do get mad though. Like sometimes you'll get a customer who like does it all the time, and then you just have like that natural hatred for customers.
Oh,
So you just get mad. And there's a motherfucker. I was working this job, and we had free crackers with the soups.
Yeah.
And this dude would just like order a sandwich, be like, hey, can I get some crackers too? I'm like, yeah, whatever. I thought the crackers there. And he would literally be like, actually, can I get more? He would be like, can I get 12? And I'd be like,
that's a wildly specific answer.
Yeah, I don't care. Those aren't my crackers, but I hate most customers. So I'm just like, nah. And he'd be like, what do you mean, nah? I'm like, nah, you can't.
Yeah. There's a difference between caring about the crackers and not liking a customer. I get the second part.
When I worked at Central Market, people would come through and buy their tortilla soup all the time. And the way it works is like there's a soup. People put the soup in one of those containers, and the other container there's like avocado and cheese and tortilla strips. And some people would fucking cram like. They would just pack of like 6 avocados worth of shit in there, and then like not one. They would just like hold it, and I'm like, "Is that more soup?" And they're like, "No, it's toppings." And I was like, I can see how green it is.
It's coming out them 3 little holes in the top.
Exactly.
Them steam holes got avocado coming out.
If you worked with retail at all, like you understand that like if you give people an inch, they'll take it a mile, and they'll keep doing it until and you can't do anything at that point. You're fucked. You're just like
especially like with where you work. I worked in the pawn shops for years, and there'd be shit like that. Like there's a certain there's certain boundaries that you have or whatever, and it's like the minute you let something slide, like that person like one of the things was like one of the things was like we can't have shit in the original wrappers, original packaging in a pawn shop because it's like what's to say you didn't just walk out the fucking store with it, so we can't do shit in the original packaging.
Right.
So one time this guy had a bunch of DVDs. And he had one that had the plastic on it. And I was like, you know what? Obviously, you're just grabbing DVDs off your rack. You never opened this one. I'll let it slide. And I opened it for him. And he came in the next day with a bunch of wrapped Blu-rays.
Yeah.
I was like, you obviously just walked out of the fucking
You just
Walgreens.
jacked these. Yeah.
Man.
Oh, I actually, anything that goes back to stealing from a company, I'm fine with. So good job.
Oh yeah, I have no moral issue with it whatsoever. I just know that like at this point I was like well,
now you got
if I take the things. No, I have like I mean shit on my podcast over on Lie, Cheat, and Steal. We make it a very clear point. We're like, companies are not victims. Like, I don't give a shit.
Exactly.
I won't steal from don't steal from mom and pop shops. That's the only one. It's like if it's a publicly traded company, get them.
Have you ever seen anybody get busted for stealing? Like, I
like in the store.
Employees get busted for stealing. I remember seeing when I worked at Sam's Club, this dude got busted because they used to have to throw out the send the tires to recycling or whatever.
Yeah.
And this dude just loaded a bunch of old tires in his car and then got arrested. And I was like, oh man, that's such old tires. Such a bummer.
Yeah.
Steal a TV, man. Like steal. I'm not I stole I used to work at Super Kmart and I stole all the time when I worked at Super Kmart. I never paid for lunch. I ate. I would just walk into the store, take whatever I wanted, and eat it. It was just whatever it was.
When I was a cake decorator at Sam's Club, I used to go into the walk-in freezer and just like stick an entire chocolate cupcake in my mouth. I don't know, probably like 3, 4, 5 times a week. It was just like my daily cupcake break. Have you ever eaten a frozen cupcake?
Oh yeah.
Oh no, I have not.
Man, and we're like thawed. No, they're not like frozen hard.
Okay.
But if
they've thawed out a bit,
you put it in your apron pocket for a little while, you walk around with it, it's still cold on the inside. Man, what a fucking treat.
Dude,
I don't know if I said it before on this podcast, but I used to steal for other customers. When I worked when I worked at the register, if you were cool, I would just not ring up some of your stuff. Slide it through, whatever, man.
All the time, get out. Dude, we used to do I worked at, me and all my homeboys were overnight stalkers at a military grocery store on base back in Killeen. And like, so you can go in there and they can check they have a rule, they can check your bags and they can't check your person. Right. It's like every night we walked out with like, cuts of meat or whatever, just go home and cook. But then like we started taking shopping lists from people in the neighborhood. And so we would go and we would just like, set up like our cardboard in these carts to where you couldn't really see in it. Like kind of like essentially a false bottom, I guess. And we would just like load shit up at night and we would go in the back little chutes where we would throw our trash out into these huge compactors out of these big bay windows. And one of us would go smoke a cigarette and drive the car around back and just catch the shit like a receiver and throw it into the car. We would just throw like racks of ribs out and then just be catching them and throwing them in the car.
Yeah. When I worked at Borders, they were Borders like sold all their customer information to Amazon early on and just like totally fucked themselves.
And,
Oh, you
that's exactly what happened.
Cool, let's be friends. No, it's not.
So Amazon's like, yeah, sure, we'll help you sell books, and then they got like all of the customer information. We're just like, see ya, and we came into work. Dude, we came into work on a Friday, and there was like all these rumors, and like, guys, we got this new CEO. He's coming over from finance. We're gonna be all right. It's gonna be cool. And on Monday, they were declaring bankruptcy, right? And like literally over the weekend. So this lady came in, and they were like liquidating everything. And if you've ever been to like a store that's liquidating, it's not just that store shit. It's all the other things that they've liquidated.
Yeah, they send them there.
So it's like we're in this bookstore and there's like, those fucking giant like 20 by 20 inch perfume sets for mom. There's like a whole shelf of those and like these weird throws. But they said eventually everything was going to go 99% off. So everybody who worked there started hiding shit in the ceilings.
Yeah, of course.
Hell yeah.
On the last day, I got a Rosetta Stone, the $749 Rosetta Stone, and we used to slap bargain bin stickers on it for like $1.99, and it was 99% off that. I got like 4 e-readers. I got a Mario chess set. Like, I fucked this place up.
Yeah.
Fucked them up bad. They didn't know what was coming, and we were hiding all kinds of shit in the ceiling. It was great.
I love it.
Oh, that's sick. Hell yeah, man. I nothing. This shit warms my heart when I hear about people stealing from companies.
Yeah, absolutely. Next letter. Dear Abby, I'm wondering how to handle finding a hair in your food or on your plate while eating at home or even while eating at a friend's. I try to prevent it from happening by tugging gently at my hair, pulling out the loose ones, and brushing off my sleeves and shoulders before I start cooking. However, once or twice a month, my husband finds one and complains about it, sometimes loudly. Of course, I don't do it on purpose. It embarrasses me and makes me feel horrible and defensive.
Yeah.
Should he mention this or let it pass? If we were at a friend's house, I know he wouldn't say anything, and I wouldn't either for fear of causing embarrassment. Signed, Shedding in Tennessee.
That is a disturbing fucking sign off.
Talk about the horrific marriage that these people have found themselves in.
That husband has never gone down on his wife. Never. And guess what? He's never going to.
He's never going to.
She needs to get the fuck out of Tennessee.
Yeah. That's bad. It's like, hey, like I remember like we used to go always eat at my friend's grandma's house. And, like we'd go over there, we were drunk, we'd stop by, she didn't mind making us food. And as she got a little older, we started finding hair in it. And you just shut up, you just don't say anything. You're just like, you pull it out and you're just like, Yeah, whatever.
Human being.
Girl. Yeah, if it was my girl, like if I like, first of all, my chick, like if I called her out more than once on there being hair in the food, the first time she might apologize. The second time, it's gonna be like, why the fuck are you talking to me this way?
Yeah.
Like I get it. Dude, it fucking happens. Even if it's at like a restaurant or something. Like 9 times out of 10, I'm just like, well, fuck it. It happened.
Yeah,
it's already been in my mouth.
Like, what are you gonna do about it?
It's hair.
Now, I will say you can have the joking moment with your loved one. Like, my fiance has very long hair, right? So every once in a while, I'll pull one of her hairs out of like my ass crack or whatever. We shower in the same place. You know what I'm saying? You always pull some like under your balls, and you're pulling this long ass hair out of your balls. You make a joke like, "Oh, look at I'm growing real long hairs," and you guys laugh about it. You have a moment, right? But like this dude's getting mad when she says sometimes loudly. I think he hits her. Like this is getting very aggressive.
It's certainly not good. I feel like we should get the return address on this letter and send a welfare check out because it's not good.
She's also, it sounds like she's taking a lot of precautions to make sure it doesn't happen, like a little bit more than I've ever taken precautions.
Imagine pulling on your hair gently to see if there's any loose ones.
I think she needs to check these hairs because what if they weren't her hairs and homeboy was just like playing off, cheating on his wife? I mean, I found this damn hair in my head.
Another blonde hair. Not hers.
It sounds like he might be up to some shit. I don't trust this guy.
I don't trust this guy as far. Here's what I think. I think it's his hair. I think
that is so common.
He's going bald and being fucking shitty about it, and now he's gaslighting her.
Yeah. Damn. That is. When I started working in restaurants, the first time, like I was in a kitchen and a plate got sent back, and one of the chefs was like, it said it had a hair in it, and he was just like, oh man, he was like, dude, 9 times out of 10, he said it's the customer's hair. And I was like, oh shit, I never thought about that. And I started. I used to work though at a restaurant with Mahoney Slushy. And love Mahoney, good friend of mine. We all love him. He's the friend of the show of Austin Comedy. Sure. But he fucking. We worked at a restaurant or a food truck one time. And somebody was like, hey, I found a hair in my donut. And I was expecting like a small hair. And it was like part of a lock.
Like a full ass red lock.
And I was like, it was me and Mahoney and Jake Rowe. I was like, hey, Mahoney, you got to be careful. Like, so somebody found a hair in the food. And Mahoney was like, how do you know it was mine? I was like, Mahoney, I know it's yours.
Trust me on this.
Science knows it's yours. You just gonna have to go with this one.
I try not to get too hung up on shit like that, but if I had to guess one person in this food truck, it's definitely you.
That's so funny. I couldn't there are things in a restaurant where like it's got to be real fucked up for me to send it back. Like it has to be like either something that's going to make it inedible, like there's soap in it or something, or like a safety issue. Like this chicken is raw. I can't eat raw chicken. Like that's But like, oh, there's a hair, or like sometimes you find like if you're eating beans, you'll find like a little rock or something. That's just how fucking the world works. And I'll see people send shit back for shit like that, and I'm like, nah. You voted for Trump. I look in your eye. I know based on your behavior.
If you want to see some Trump voters, look up, there's like a whole segment of Twitter of white people finding bay leaf in their food at Chipotle. And they're just like the throw up emojis. They're like, oh my God, a leaf. It's like, it's just completely just unaware that that's why the food tastes good.
I had a friend who we were at Applebee's back home, and he ordered like a steak and potato. Yeah, like you do. And he ate like 3/4 of it and then sent it back. And he's like, this was not done right. And like raised a bunch of shit. And like the server was like a dude that we knew and didn't tip him. And I was like, what the fuck is going through your brain? It's like, now I got to go make amends with this guy that like you see every now and then. Like, it's fucking people like that are the worst.
When I worked at Dairy Queen, we had a lady that worked at our Dairy Queen come in on her day off and order food for her family. And then she just like drove around the restaurant, I guess found something wrong, and came in. It was like we'd never met this bitch. She threw the shit down.
A stranger walked in.
She was like, oh yeah. We were like, I forget like Terry, I think his name was the most horrible people named Terry. But I was like, okay, I'm sorry, we'll fix it. She's like, yeah, come on, God, really? And I was like, it was like I had never met the woman. It was insane.
Yeah. You know you're clocking in on Tuesday, right, Terry? We got a shift together.
You know you got to open after I close, right, Terry?
Yeah.
You know that's what's gonna happen.
I ain't restocking none of these kegs. Oh, that's that shit. When you know
home with me, I ain't got nothing here.
There's nothing better than that pettiness in a food service when you know who's and you're like, oh, fuck you, dude. I ain't rolling no silverware. This is fucked up for you tomorrow.
I'm gonna leave a roast beef in the oven for you to find it. You know what I mean?
Yeah. All right, I think we got time for one or two more before we go.
All right, let's hit it.
Let's see. This one's weird. Where is it? Oh, Dear Abby, when I was 16, my cousin Mary came from Georgia to New York to stay with us for the summer. After a short time,
hot. I like
it's about to be. After a short time, we began experimenting with French kissing, which led to more things happening between us. Okay. Mary went home at the end of the summer. We are both now 50, and I recently learned she became pregnant back then with a daughter and never married. The DNA indicates she is mine. My question is, how do I explain to my wife that I need to be there for my daughter? I've never had any other kids, as my wife can't have children. Please help me. Signed, Past History in Oklahoma. Now, I've got a couple issues here. Up front is how casually he addresses the incest of the situation. How just he's like, yo, my cousin came down, so naturally I started making out.
You did. It is titled. It is from Oklahoma.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And it was weird, and then you said that. I'm like, well, I guess.
Point. Signed, not the least bit surprising at Oklahoma.
So that's weird. I also don't like how passive, like the passive use of the DNA indicates she is mine. Come on, it's your kid. Just say it. You don't need to.
It just looks like him. It's like him in a dress. Like it's obviously his daughter.
Yeah.
Now, my cousin Mary from New York City came down. Normally, I don't like big city liberals. There was something about her that made me want a French kiss.
Oh man, that's got to be. And this ain't really even a joke behind this one. That's got to be the worst. If like you can't have kids and your husband cheats on you and it produces a kid. I mean,
well, he didn't cheat on you, right? He's a child. But when you find out that your husband has a child, you couldn't have children. That has to be a blow. But then you find out it's with his cousin.
Yeah,
that's also weird. Yeah. Now I will say that I think there is a chance that this is a very colloquial use of the word cousin. However, you know what I mean? Like there are people that will say like, oh, this is my cousin, but it's not really.
Yeah.
However, I don't think that's true in this case because like if you get someone pregnant and there's any chance they're not related to you, that's how you you know what I'm saying? There's a family friend, there's some by marriage qualifiers in there. You know what I'm saying?
That was like a couple years ago when I was like between my last two relationships, I was talking to a friend of mine's little sister, and I had to train myself to stop saying little sister because it sounded so fucking weird.
Sure.
I was like, And I was hanging out with my homeboy's little sister the other day. Like, just because
you can't say no. She's 28. It's not that she's just younger than him.
So I think, definitely. Yeah, if that's not if you're not related, that cousin shit drops the minute you start talking about that kid. Yeah.
I'm gonna throw out an alternate theory here.
Okay.
What if this guy's just never had sex?
He doesn't know. We started making out, and now she's pregnant.
Yeah. What if he thinks he's had sex because he's French kissed, but his wife can't get pregnant because he doesn't.
Yeah, he's never had sex with her.
He's never had sex with
her. He's like, man, I've been eating her pussy all day, and she's not pregnant.
She's not pregnant again.
So he does say experimental French kissing, which led to more things happening between us, but he never explicitly says sex. So yeah, there's a chance that he just like got a hand job and is like, knocked her up.
Well, in school they tell me if you French kiss, you could get your cousin pregnant, and so
this is Oklahoma school districts. You know what I'm saying? Like,
that's what the textbook said, but I took a chance on love.
Oh man, like I'm just over here, like I'm like, if the wife hears it, she's just like, "Oh man, he got his cousin pregnant, and it's not even his hot cousin, like the one who got pregnant."
Why would you put it in Mary? You son of when Sue Ellen. It's at least an A.
Talking about cross-eyed Mary.
I think I'm like legacy pussy under Sue Ellen. It turns out I'm like Mary's sloppy second.
How do I explain to my wife that I need to be there for my daughter? Carefully? I think that's how you
After lots of consideration.
Also, at this point, is the daughter an adult at this point? Like,
has to be, right? Because
yeah.
When he was 16 and now he's 50. So the daughter is 34 years old.
Yeah, dude. Like, I mean, you don't need to be there for her. Maybe she wants to have a relationship.
Sure, You're not raising this child.
That's a fucking adult. You know?
That is true.
It's an adult.
Maybe also explore the idea that maybe she doesn't want to meet her creepy cousin, Uncle Dad. You might just be able to let this shit slide, dog, and like not address it.
I hear you. My thought is the only way he finds out is if I guess someone in the family could have told her. It feels like she said, "Hey, you should probably know I ended up getting pregnant or whatever." But like,
I mean, work for Karl Malone.
That's not what's said here.
You know? Karl Malone just said, "Fuck my kids" from when I was.
Yeah.
He worked for him.
Did.
He just mailman just shut it down.
Also, wouldn't it, like, if you were if he just now found out that she had a daughter, at least, like, how close was this branch of the family anyways? You know what I'm saying?
I don't think particularly close. No.
Dude, one time
not after they fucked, you know? She probably woke up and went, "I've made a huge mistake. I'm going back to New York City so I don't get stuck in this trailer park."
I remember one time I pulled up to my house. I was after high school. I got out of school. My homeboys dropped me off at the crib, and my grandma's outside with an older woman who I didn't know, with a like young, like good-looking girl standing next to her. And I pulled up. And I was like, "What's all this?" My boy just goes, "Arranged marriage." And then it turns out that it was my grandma's sister who I met once when I was a kid, and that other girl was my cousin. And I was like, "Oh, hello." And then I went inside and probably jacked off. I was 15.
Man, it's weird. So it's weird having like a sibling who people find attractive. Like my sister is a beautiful woman, and I was like one of the last shows I did in St. Louis. I was standing there with the guy who was my roommate. He was the bartender at the comedy club, and we're standing there saying goodbye to people as we're walking out. And my sister comes walking in, and my roommate Brian, he goes, "Check out the tits on this one." And I look at my sister, and I'm just like, "Her?" And I'm like, he's like, "Yeah." I go, "Man," I said, "Yeah, I know her." Like, yeah. I said, I know her my whole life. And he's like, "What? It's my fucking sister, Brian." It's so uncomfortable.
It's
sometimes.
very weird. Well, it's weird because like that is kind of gross male behavior that even if you don't participate in, chances are you're not going to be like, "Well, excuse me, sir, please don't be a wild." You know what I mean? Like if you're at the bar and somebody goes, "Hey, check out this on this one," you'd be like, "Yeah, all right," and you kind of keep it pushing. But like now you feel like, "Oh, I have to stand up for, I have to like make some sort of argument or whatever," and it's like, I don't know, you're kind of
and it's like, dude, I have had sex with people who are sisters. You know what I mean? Sisters have sex, guys. Mine's no different.
Lots of them.
You know? Dude, she's married. You think I'm trying to kick his ass?
Yeah. Why are you mad about your? Yeah, exactly. Yeah, my sister has a kid. All of a sudden, I'm just furious every time I meet.
How dare you fuck my adult sister who can make her own decisions?
I love when you meet a person, like a person that you know fairly well. You find out like deep in the game that they have a sister. And it's like, oh, they just know that all of their friends are fucking dogs. And like
Or bringing them around for
the sister never came up. Yeah.
I'm gonna keep this one separate.
I got a sister. She goes to a different school. You don't know her.
Guy who lies about having a hot sister. Keeps a picture of a girl in his wallet. Like, "Who's that?" He's like, "Yeah, that's my sister.
My sister's modeling in Canada right now. She'll be back for the summer."
He does it to get dude friends, like something they want to fucking sister.
Let's go ahead and do one more letter and then we'll wrap it up. Dear Abby, I have a friend who feels a need to correct the behavior of others by writing letters. There are not too many businesses around town that haven't received one of her letters, and no doubt others in her circle of friends have too. After a misunderstanding for which I apologized, I received one of them. Because she lacks understanding or the ability to forgive, a vitriolic diatribe came my way. In her letter, she related past unfortunate, in her opinion, ill behaviors on my part for which I should be ashamed. Then she ended a friendship we had for many years without trying to mend the relationship. This is very hurtful for me, and I'm sure others. How does one respond, if at all, to something like this? Signed, Suffering in Michigan.
Damn, I first of all, that lady sucks.
The letter writer lady for sure sucks, right?
Yeah. She obviously she dodged a bullet. She should be lucky. In fact, if she wants to, I think she has full like social permission to just go on the offensive and write her back a letter. And it's just like, yo, like, you know, like, yeah, she could. I think she should say whatever the hell she wants to that lady and then just skate. Like,
now, I'm gonna throw this out there into this mix as a veteran of reading these letters. People who write these letters, I say it every week, do so in the way that makes them seem
of course,
like the best or the victim or whatever.
Yep.
We have no idea what this misunderstanding is. Like, she might have fucked this woman's husband. No level of like
hit her kid with a car. Like,
but she's doing it all over town. Maybe her husband's just fucking everybody. You know.
Also, well, it's funny that this lady's writing dear. She's like, I have this friend who has a habit of writing letters. Writing a letter right now.
Exactly. I don't know that I feel like we got unreliable narrator here, right?
Yeah, no,
there are not too many businesses around town that haven't received one of her letters. How do you know, lady? You don't work with these businesses. This woman, there's a lot of
it sounds like there's not too many
here.
businesses around town that you haven't gone into asking about this bitch's letters. You know what I'm saying?
Hey, did you all get a letter from Darlene? Because I got a letter from Darlene. Did you all?
Also, if there's a way, let's say this lady is telling the truth, this woman has berated every member in town with a letter. How dope would that be if you could get those and publish them? And it's like one small town woman's just acidic vitriol at every business in town.
Oh yeah, no, trust me. If she had access to those letters, they'd have been attached to this Dear Abby letter. We'd be reading all of them right now.
I gotta duck out real quick. I gotta go buy some stock in Bic pens.
Yeah. Yeah,
dude, my grandma wrote a letter to the editor one time. The county I lived in was a dry county, Coryell County, and they voted to have alcohol sales. And my grandma has like a very like old school view of alcohol, maybe because her husband died drunk in a plane crash.
That'll do it. That
he was
drunk flying the plane.
Yeah, he drunk.
No, I'm sorry. That's how you go out.
Yeah, that's like they were crop dusting in Alabama, and they decided to go like get shit faced.
That's the name of my second album.
Crop dusting in Alabama, and they decided to fly back to Florida, and they're like him and his boy, and they're playing. They just got fucking soused and just crashed the plane. So yeah, my grandma has a very old school like understanding
puritanical approach.
Yeah. And so when they passed the drinking thing in Coppers Cove, Texas, my grandma wrote a letter and it just said, well, it looks like the Cove Christians danced while the devil played the fiddle.
You should get that fucking embroidered on something.
You put that on a t-shirt immediately. Because you can sell that anywhere. That just sounds dope. You don't need to know about Coppers Cove. I'd rock that t-shirt tomorrow.
Yeah, the Christians dance while the devil played the fiddle. Yeah, actually, hold up.
Yeah, write that down. We're gonna get a rockabilly band to make that song.
Oh man, I'm gonna fuck so many girls with weird tattoos when this comes out.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm gonna get jerked off with pomade.
Yeah. He's gonna have a fetish for girls wearing cherry covered stockings.
Yeah.
Oh, you know what makes me pop? Betty Boop.
I would love to just like be in that scene and just like crushing chicks out that scene, but never change my personal style. I just show them J's with a fade. I'm like, no,
with a fade.
I just think all this shit's dumb.
Air Force One, just killing it.
Reverend Horton Heat's playing.
I don't listen to the music. I think this whole culture is stupid. I'm just here to get laid.
I'm just here to get laid. I just love alt girls. Here's my Pat Sirois impression. I want to fuck with these alt girls.
I can only come in the back of a 52 Chevy. I can only come at car meetup. That seems like a good place as any to add the podcast. Pat Sirois, where can people find you on the internet? What you got?
I'm on Twitter at PZTX. I have a podcast as well. We talk about It's like true crime about scam artists. It's called Lie, Cheat, and Steal. If you want to check that out, we're on Twitter at LCS Podcast. That's where you can find me on both fronts.
Check that out for sure. Aaron Brooks, what's going on with you?
I'm on Twitter at Funny Brooks, Aaron Brooks Comedy on Instagram. I have some exciting stuff coming up. I've got a new show a new like online YouTube show that's going to be starting soon called Where You From? We're going to interview comedians about their hometowns as we take a tour of that hometown on Google Street Maps. And that's going to be real fun. That's going to be kicking off pretty soon. And that's a big thing.
That's a great premise. I am at Chris Cubis on all social media. If you like the show, please rate, review, subscribe. Give us those 5 stars. We really appreciate it. This will be out tomorrow. So Monday, you can see me at the Joker Painting at Spider House Ballroom if you're in Austin. And next weekend, I am headlining the Velveeta Room.
Yeah. Oh, it's back, baby. Oh, that feels so good to hear.
Baby. So come check that out the weekend of the 18th. So I'll be there 2 nights. Come check that out. And we'll be back next week with more bad advice.